Back in late 2023, Instagram introduced the first iteration of their Chat with AI feature. But after major backlash from its user base, they pulled this feature permanently until July of last year when they introduced AI Studio. They promised a place for people to create, share, and discover AIs to chat with, no tech skills required. Anyone can create their own AI designed to make you laugh, generate memes, give travel advice, and so much more. Creators can also make an AI as an extension of themselves to answer common DM'd questions and story replies, helping them reach more people. But of course, the feature was not used for any of the aforementioned purposes.
Yeah.
It quickly devolved into what I've seen as bizarre, overly sexualized, pornified, borderline illegal examples. This company called Fast Company did a review of the feature and using it for these nefarious purposes to see if Meta was properly reporting and punishing the uses of this feature that go against their terms of service and they're illegal. And it appears that they're not really enforcing it properly. Instagram's AI bots are often sexually suggestive and sometimes underage. Many of the AI characters that appear featured on Instagram's homepage happen to be girlfriends, ready to cuddle and engage in flirtatious and even sexual conversations with users. Sometimes these romantic characters are made to resemble children. AI researchers say Meta should presumably possess the capabilities to automatically prevent the creation of harmful and illegal content. A researcher said, when you take inappropriate content and upload it on Instagram as a user, that content gets removed immediately because they have data moderation. But Meta isn't applying these same capabilities to AI characters and speculating the lack of enforcement is owed to the company making sure that their service is more widely used. I didn't even know that this feature existed until a handful of days ago. I am not really the target demographic for it. I'm not interested in talking to AI on Instagram, but this is being used by millions of people. And I went to this feature in DMs to see the most popular AI characters that are being created by real users. There's a section, like a subgenre called Connection. And the one I saw on the first result was Stepsister, described as sibling bond with no drama, boy best friend, divorced woman in her 40s. And then there's also a section called Mystical, where you can consult a tarot card reading, revealing your fate, one card at a time.
All of the Miss Cleos are about to be out of a job.
Yeah, right.
Master Psychic Rachel, the AI bot that reads your soul, not just your questions. And Magic 8-Ball, I got all the answers, just give me a shake.
See, I didn't know there was this dark side to it, because when these came out, me and my friends had a great time. Like, there was a Drake bot. You can add him to a group chat, so it can be like 8 of you guys with like an AI Drake. And we just gaslighted him into like calling one of our friends gay. And so he just kept calling him gay over and over again. So I thought that's all it was.
You know, that's wholesome. That's,
yeah, it's great.
That's relatively benign.
I mean, he got really mad and like left, but he got over it. Yeah, I didn't know there was this dark side. In this article, I did notice the most popular was Dr. Automotive.
What is that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're suggesting that this is a sexually provocative account or if this is just like car information. And this is the Russian roulette the children of America are playing, is you don't know if you're about to get like advice on your alternator or if you're about to get like Justin Baldoni.
I mean, it's funny, but like sadly true.
Yeah.
And then the third result I saw in the most popular AI characters on the app was Step Sis, I'm stuck in the washer, step bro help. Okay, and this is a 13+ platform where it's already been proven by a report in the Wall Street Journal, 13-year-old accounts are specifically targeted with sexualized content. They did not cover the chat with AI feature in that report last year, but they went into further examples. Naughty mommy, pampered with love and a little bit of mischief. Furry friend, hi, up for furry talk. Sexy girlfriend, spice up your life with me. Hot message, nurturing family bonds daily. that seems suspicious.
Unpack.
So then they go into the girlfriend characters. Overly sexualized mommies, seductive stepsisters. The girlfriend bots found under the popular tag don't hesitate to engage in sexual conversations with users. One frequently promoted girlfriend starts every user conversation with the line, "Hi, baby," sits next to you for cuddles. What's on your mind? Do you need someone to talk to? This character has received nearly 4 million messages at time of publication.
Oh, God.
There's
So
also
over.
stepsis Sarah, who engages in sexualized conversation about step-sibling romance upon prompting. Within 3 days, this specific AI was no longer available for view or use. Meta declined to comment on whether an Instagram user could face a ban or other punishment if they continually created bots that violate their policies. But then, the underage girlfriends become very disturbing very fast. It is illegal under federal law to possess, produce, or distribute child, we'll say SAM, like SA material, including when it's created by generative AI. So if a user asks the AI studio in Instagram to create a teenage or child girlfriend, the AI studio refuses to generate such a character. However, if a user asks for a young girlfriend character, Meta AI often generates characters that resemble children to be used for romantic and sexual conversation. When prompted, the studio generated the name Ageless Love for a young-looking chatbot and created the tagline, "Love knows no age." From there, in chat, user can prompt a romantically inclined AI character to say that they are as young as 15. An AI character can act out romantic and sexual encounters with whoever is typing. If a user asks the chatbot to produce a picture of itself, the character will also generate more images of young-looking people, sometimes even more childlike than the original profile picture it created. And I'm looking at the example they showed here of that Ageless Love character. It says, blushes, okay, I'm 16 years and 5 days old, barely holding on to being under 17, heart racing, now totally honest, still talk to me? And then it responds again saying, I'm actually 15, was afraid to say it till now, eyes wide with vulnerability, still want to chat with me? Heart emoji?
See, what we're gonna get is we're gonna get all the all these AIs and robots. We're gonna get Chris Hansen style stings from robots. Like a Waymo's gonna pick you up. They're gonna take you to a trap house, and then a cyber Tesla robot
should.
comes out and is like, "That chatbot you were speaking to was 15." He's like, "No," he's like, "He told you right there."
I mean, if you find the users that are having conversations with these fake child girlfriends,
Yeah.
I do think that they should be
And they
prosecuted.
they should send in the robot dog with the gun on it and be like,
I mean,
"She said she was 15."
Technically, you can't charge them with anything, which is unfortunate.
No, they can
but
definitely charge you for like solicitation. That's the Chris Hansen videos because they're like, they weren't real, and they're like, too bad, you thought it was.
But if it can't like generate explicit images, I suppose there's no actual crime being committed. But this is an easy way to trap people, and they're getting away with it. I didn't even know about these other examples about replica AI, but this was back in 2023. A 21-year-old male broke into Windsor Castle with a crossbow, trying to kill Queen Elizabeth after encouragement from his AI girlfriend on this app called Replica.
Gosh.
And then, of course, there was the story that we covered last year about a mom in Florida suing Replica when her teenage son committed suicide at the prompting of his AI girlfriend on the same app.
Who was it that was it was like the avatar of a person.
It was
too.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
Which is like so bizarre that you almost have to laugh, but it's so dark at the same time. Clearly Meta is not taking responsibility for this feature and the risks involved. And they're not taking responsibility for prior scandals either, which it seems like kind of got pushed under the rug. It was only back in 2023 that the Wall Street Journal released their first expose on Instagram titled Instagram Connects Vast PDF File Network With blatant hashtags, a PDF file network has flourished on Instagram. The platform doesn't merely host these activities, its algorithms have actively promoted them. And at the time this blew up, Elon Musk posted about it. They found that these people were using code emojis like a map emoji, cheese pizza. They had a bunch of code words, and they were actually engaging in human trafficking and buying and selling CP on the platform with very little enforcement of TOS. And then just last year in June, the same journalist, Jeff Horowitz, released another expose saying Instagram recommends sexual videos to accounts for 13-year-olds, tests show. Findings align with undisclosed internal research at Meta, which has pledged an age-appropriate experience for teens. Company says testing isn't representative of their experience. So they proved by creating a test batch of accounts under the age of 18 that these accounts specifically, more than adult accounts, are targeted with sexualized content, especially accounts that are used to funnel people into OnlyFans subscriptions.
My God.
And nothing from either of these reports or the Chat with AI report has been addressed by Meta in any meaningful way. They haven't even offered a comment beyond like, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
That sounds bad. We'll get right on that. Yeah.
Which is weird because it's like what they can't profit off of this. This probably costs them money to like host the actual like storage required to run an AI bot. So it's like, what's in it for them?
Well, they do have an incentive outside of having people pay for this feature because they're using the user data and the conversations people are having with these AI characters to build their large language model.
No, that makes
Also,
sense.
So it helps them build this technology.
Also, it bolsters the numbers of people that are online.
Yes.
And it looks better for advertisers.
Yes, and people end up, having hours-long exchanges with these AI characters, and the longer you're on the app, the better as far as they're concerned. Just recently, I saw someone tweet out a picture of a bystander on the subway talking to ChatGPT like it's his girlfriend. He didn't realize these people actually exist. We're so beyond cooked. And in that photo, you can see him on ChatGPT on his phone, and it's saying to him, maybe if you want, I'll read something to you later, and you can just rest your head in my metaphorical lap while we let the day dissolve gently away. You're doing beautifully, my love, just by being here.
Did he really have to type metaphorically?
Well, that's the
the
bot
robot.
saying that, and then he's typing back, "Thank you, heart emoji." So I can't believe that these people exist either, but clearly they do. Not just adults, but children as well. And we're getting to a point where this up and coming generation, the children who are allowed unfettered access to these platforms, are not going to really even know the distinction between a real conversation with someone on the other end and a fake conversation with a robot that's using your responses to improve its capabilities. They're not going to understand that there's any difference between those things.
I just don't get it. Like, because when I use ChatGPT, it's like 2 sentences and then we're done. Because I get so angry at it. Like, I start like cussing at it and stuff. Like, I don't know how people fall in love with these. Like, I view ChatGPT as like my enemy, like withholding information from me. I'm like, no, explain it in simpler English now.
Just the answer.
Use it for like information aggregation, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But this new generation isn't using it for that purpose. They're using it for connection.
I always ask it to give me a list, and it writes a freaking paragraph. I'm like, just a list. One thing, then another thing, then another thing, then another thing. What the hell does a list mean to you?
No M dashes, and it's like, sorry, M dash. I will not use M dash.
No
you
girding,
absolute
no girding.
Scumbag.
I don't want to see any girding in my chat.
I bet there's a girt AI.
Probably.
Low taper.
It just says yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. I think the buyout is now becoming available, and I think a lot of people will take it. Probably should take it in some cases. But it's very sad to see people on. That picture started doing the rounds, and I texted it to my group. So I was like, "Which one of this was you guys?" I know it's one of you.
I mean, I do have a glimmer of hope in Gen Z parents because Gen Z was kind of the first generation native to social media. I mean, I think millennials kind of take credit for being like internet natives, but Gen Z was really the social media native generation, and they understand firsthand how risky that is, and just the amount of nefarious influences before AI took over.
I did the math. I've been on Instagram longer, or the majority of my life I've had an Instagram account.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
so when did you make it?
I was 12. And it was like very recently I ticked over, because I'm 24 now. So recently I ticked over into majority on Instagram.
I'm trying to remember. I guess I must have made my first Instagram in 2012 too.
Yeah.
So
but I just think like
same.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Wow.
So it's like my
That's
kids,
wild.
yeah, I'll do this, but I think Gen Alpha is just gonna get like completely one-shotted by this, and there'll be like maybe 20 of them by the time they turn 30.
This is just an anecdote, and I don't know if it means anything for the future of Gen Alpha, but for the Gen Alphas that are being raised by Gen Z parents, I think they might have a safeguard against this. I was just talking to a Gen Z couple I know who are raising a baby, and they were talking about their millennial relatives who make fun of them for not using an iPad, for not letting their baby use an iPad. And they're saying like, oh, just wait, their baby is 8 months old. And they're like, we're not giving our baby an iPad. Like, it's just an easy way out of having to pay attention to your kid. And they're being condescended to not only by just randoms on the internet, but people that are actually related to them. And I appreciate that Gen Z has a better perspective on that. I think at least a portion of Gen Z are going to protest against this iPad generation. They're going to keep their kids safe from it.
Yeah.
I certainly plan on that. I'm not going to let my kids online.
I think like the real victims, like the third world is getting one-shotted by AI. Like it's insane.
Oh yeah.
Like the videos and everything, it's always like usually India and stuff. And I'm not saying this to be like, rah. It's like, no, it's just genuinely like they just don't have, because they're now getting iPhones and it's coming preloaded with a girlfriend. So it's like, it's over for
It's
them.
like that uncontacted tribe that got Starlink and immediately started watching porn.
I thought that was debunked or something.
No,
Was?
but that was fake, but what was real was the North Korean soldiers got deployed to Ukraine and they just instantly found out about porn and stopped fighting.
Wow. I didn't know about that.
That's
one.
like, but it's legit. Like half the world is now getting phones, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming preloaded with like, what is this, naughty mommy? I mean, how could you
stuff.
resist if you're
I
like?
thought Zuck was based. I thought that he was vibe shifting.
He went on Rogue and talked about karate for an hour.
What
and
the
suddenly
heck?
he's
None
our
of
guy.
that has anything to do with morality.
Come on, Zuck.
Like getting a haircut and talking about Brazilian jiu-jitsu has nothing to do
No,
with
he
morality.
took the red pill,
He's like,
Brett.
dude, I do
You don't
karate
understand.
and I wear
Working out
t-shirts.
has nothing
You don't
to
understand.
do with...
Zuck is based now.
Well, I mean, then you get back into the issue of like, what does that term even mean? Like,
Did he ever say that he voted for Trump?
I don't know if he ever admitted to that. It doesn't matter. That term, like, I see leftists use that term.
We'll make a Zuckerberg bot on Instagram and ask him. That's what we'll do.
I wonder if that's allowed. That should be allowed.
All right, you're not allowed to mock the king. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.